The natural. The natural is the student who never seems to study and still gets the highest grade in the room. They finish the exam first. They ask questions in class that make the teacher pause. They make it look effortless because, for them, it mostly is. What people rarely see is the cost of this. Naturals often develop almost no study skills during the years when everyone else is building them. School comes too easily to require discipline. Then one day, usually in university or in a career, they hit a wall they have never hit before, and they have no tools to deal with it. The student who coasted for 12 years suddenly discovers they never learned how to try. The natural's real test never happens in school. It happens the first time school stops being easy. The grinder. The grinder is not the smartest student in the room. They know it, and they have decided it does not matter. They take notes on the notes. They reread the chapter 3 times. They start assignments the day they are given. They stay after class to ask questions not because they are confused, but because they want to be certain. While the natural is sleeping, the grinder is reviewing. While the natural is reviewing, the grinder is already done. The grinder is the student most likely to outperform their own apparent potential. Research on long-term academic outcomes consistently shows that self-discipline predicts success more reliably than raw intelligence. The grinder understands this before they have the vocabulary to say it. They figured it out through repetition. The last-minute student. Everything gets done. Nothing gets done early. This is the defining condition of this type, and they have made peace with it. The last-minute student has a system. It looks like chaos from the outside. From the inside, it is a finely tuned relationship with deadline pressure. The essay that would have taken a week gets written the night before and submitted with 4 minutes to spare. Somehow it passes. Sometimes it does better than that. What drives this type is not laziness. It is activation energy. Without a deadline close enough to feel real, the task does not feel real either. The pressure is not a problem to solve. It is the fuel. Remove the deadline and the last-minute student produces nothing. Add one and they become briefly unstoppable. The risk is obvious. One deadline they cannot survive on 4 hours of sleep. One exam they cannot cram the night before. The system works until it doesn't. The invisible student. The invisible student is present every day and noticed almost never. They sit somewhere in the middle of the room. They do not raise their hand. They do not cause problems. They submit work on time, score somewhere in the average range, and leave no particular impression on anyone. This is not a failure of ability. It is a strategy, conscious or not, of staying below the radar. For some invisible students, it comes from social anxiety. For others, it comes from a home environment where being noticed was not safe. For others, it is simply a temperament that prefers observation to participation. What happens to the invisible student after school is the most unpredictable outcome of any type. Without the structure of a classroom and grades and scheduled appearances, some quietly build extraordinary lives. Others remain invisible in ways that cost them. The classroom never found out who they actually were. Sometimes neither do they. The social student. The social student chose school for the people, not the curriculum. Every class is a conversation waiting to happen. Every group project is an opportunity. Every lunch break is the actual point of the day. They know everyone. They remember birthdays. They are the reason the group chat exists. Teachers find them charming and exhausting in equal measure. What looks like distraction is often a completely different kind of intelligence being applied to the wrong environment. The social student is reading rooms, managing relationships, negotiating group dynamics, and building the kind of interpersonal fluency that formal education almost never measures. Many of them go on to lead teams, run sales floors, and build networks that their quieter, higher-scoring classmates eventually depend on. School grades them on what they are not doing. Life tends to reward what they are. The overachiever. The overachiever is not just trying to do well. They are trying to do everything perfectly, simultaneously, with no visible signs of struggle. Full course load, 3 extracurriculars, student council, volunteer hours, a part-time job, a college application that reads like a small biography. The overachiever is not pursuing these things because they love all of them. They are pursuing them because stopping feels dangerous. Because their identity is so tightly wrapped around achievement that a single failure does not feel like a setback. It feels like a verdict. The pressure inside this type is rarely visible from outside. The grades are excellent. The schedule is full. Everything looks fine. What is not visible is the cost of maintaining it, and the question underneath all of it that the busyness is designed to drown out. What am I if I am not achieving? The class clown. Every room has one. The class clown has identified with remarkable accuracy the one tool available to them that guarantees social return: making people laugh. They are not disrupting class because they do not care. They are disrupting class because making 30 people laugh at once is the highest status move available to someone who has decided that academic performance is not a game they are going to win. The joke is a reframe. Instead of being the student who struggles with the material, they become the student who chose not to try. That distinction matters enormously to a teenager. What the class clown is almost always hiding is a sensitivity that the humor protects. Research on humor as a coping mechanism consistently links it to high emotional intelligence and often to early experiences of feeling out of place. The joke is not just a joke, it is a wall. And it works well enough that most people, including teachers, never look behind it. The lost student. The lost student is sitting in the classroom and genuinely does not understand why. Not because they are unintelligent, because nothing they have been given connects to anything they actually care about. The subjects feel irrelevant. The grades feel arbitrary. The future the school is preparing them for feels like someone else's future. They are not failing because they cannot do the work. They are failing because they cannot find a reason to. This type is the most misread by the system. They get labeled lazy, unmotivated, a problem. What they actually are is unmatched. Their intelligence or passion or particular way of seeing the world does not fit the shape of what is being measured. Many of the most interesting people in any field, the ones who changed something, built something, or said something that mattered, were lost students once, not despite the fact that school could not hold them, because of it.